Alright, YouTube. This is the HX35. Damn, man, this shit's heavy. Alright, so I decided to go with this turbo because it's, it's a pretty big turbo. It's reliable. It came off a Dodge diesel, so it's pretty reliable. And if it ever goes bad, I can always get another one for like 200 bucks, so it's fairly cheap. The sizing is about 58. And then the back housing, the exhaust housing won't really matter because we're going to be replacing it with this one. So this will eliminate the factory wastegate and the twin scroll, I guess T3 housing. Converts it to a T4 housing and also a V-band for the exhaust. So that's also really helpful. This turbo is good for about, I think, a max of 35 psi from reading in some forums. That's I guess about 400 to 450 horsepower, hopefully more. If I have any more, I'll just upgrade the outer housing to an HX40. This is the HX35, so I'll upgrade it to an HX40. And it's a bigger inlet, so it would allow me to get bigger horsepower numbers. So I'm gonna take this apart. First, by start taking off the exhaust housing and to loosen up these bolts with my foot, because these bolts are on there really good. So we're going to, like I said, take off this housing, replace it with this one, and take off the front housing, which we gotta, I guess, squeeze the two tabs together and pull off the inlet. I already inspected the turbos, like no shaft play at all. I can't shake anything. And it spins nicely. So off the Evo, the turbos are water cooled and oil cooled, but this one is just oil cooled. So that's less of a line I gotta worry about running to this turbo. Off rip, this turbo is just dirty. It's a really good condition, it's just dirty, honestly. You see the specs up there, so you know it's real. Several things will tell you that it's real. Whole set, even on the center housing, you probably can't see it, but it says whole set with a number on it. This is not no cheap eBay crap, but I would like to try the cheap eBay crap one day. God forbid this turbo ever goes. Which it might, because I want to be running lots of backfire tunes and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's why I decided to pick with this turbo. Nice and cheap, disposable, and I can get more. So let's go ahead, take this apart, clean it up. Let's see if it needs a rebuild. I can get a rebuild kit for this for fairly cheap. But yeah, let's get to work. Right, we're taking the front housing off. It's pretty easy. Let's hope the same for the back housing now. Alright guys, super hype right now. Took about 20 whacks with this hammer right here, all metal hammer. And the shit just came off. I was really surprised actually when it came off. I was like, wow. I thought it was gonna take a lot more hits than that. But you see, we soaked it in some PB Blaster for like 2, 3, probably about a week, honestly. I just sprayed it and about left it. But it came off, so it's perfect. So now, let's get some in here, clean up these fins, take off the front housing, which I already took off. Yeah, take off the front housing and clean up the front fins. Let's try and refresh this whole thing. Ugh, look at that DVD. But yeah, this thing is really filthy, so let's get to the cleaning. So far, no shaft play. It's rotating without a sound. Feels pretty good. No shaft play, left and right, up and down. It's pretty solid, pretty solid. So I'm gonna clean this up. Spray it down with some degreaser and clean it up, I guess. Cool. Alright guys, so in our arsenal we got a nice spraying line, heavy degreaser. We got the wrench to take off the front housing, and we're finished with the back housing. Got a hard bristle and a little soft bristle. I don't know if I use a soft bristle, but I'll probably just use it to dust off whatever. But I'm gonna use this to scrub, use this to degrease. Obviously, try not to spray too much. I don't want to get it inside, but I'm just mostly trying to freshen up the bristles. But yeah, we're just gonna scrub off, trying to get in between here and try and get all of the bristles clean. So I'll come back to you when both sides are clean. Alright, so we got this VHT, very high temperature, flame proof to 1300 to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. So, you know, spray this on nice and light, then give it a heavy coat, prevent it from running. Then we're gonna have to bake it in our oven because the vehicle is not running. For 250 for 30 minutes, then let it cool for 30 minutes, and then hit it again at 400, and then hit it again at 600 with 30 minutes of cooling in between. So let's hang this up, spray paint this, and cook this shit. Alright, so while we wait for this to dry, we'll put a second coat on this soon. I brought out the exhaust turbine housing. That's pretty cool. 0.82 AR. That's pretty cool. So we brought this out to put this on the back of this turbo. Even though this is not done, but I'd rather have the fins protected because I know myself already. Somehow this has ended up dropping and one of the fins are going to get bent. So we're going to put this on to minimize, you know, accidents. Alright, so when you drop this in the housing, you want to make sure that it spins freely. You see this is spinning perfectly. Also, I just lubed it up like I said earlier. But, you know, it might be a little bit crooked, so make sure you pat it down evenly. And after you push it down, make sure it still continues to spin without any binding. You can tell it's going to make like a little grinding noise and it will stop. But this is nice and firm. So we're going to put on back these little shims here, I guess, to hold down the housing. Or maybe I should push it down more, but yeah. So let's go ahead and screw these on. Alright, so we got the back housing on. Somewhat clocked to where I need it to be. I don't know if the thing I'm getting, if the exhaust manifold I'm getting is a up mount or bottom mount. I think it's universal the way I'm looking at it, but yeah, we'll see. But right now I have it clocked towards the bottom mount. So this should protect the back housing. Perfect. This shit's heavy, but it should more or less protect half of the housing. I doubt it's ever gonna fall on this side, but this is almost finished drying and I gotta put in the oven. So yeah, let's finish this up. All right, nice and baked to perfection. All right, here it is out of the oven, and we sprayed a coat of gloss on it. Man, this thing looks just amazing, honestly. Yeah, so let's go ahead and reassemble the turbo. Alright, and just like that, turbo's back together, nice and prepped and ready to go into the car. Whenever that's ever ready. But at least we have a nice turbo, nice and prepped and ready to go. So that's basically it here. Basically showing you how to re-prep this turbo. I hope it was the correct way, but you know, you guys can learn from my mistakes or from my gains. So forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Forget, never stop modifying.